Hey everybody, welcome back to another round of AFL tips on the channel. In this video today, I'm going to be doing my tips for round 14 of the 2022 AFL season. If you're going to enjoy today's video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, that'd be much appreciated. And let's kick it off as per usual with my tips from last week. Okay, my tips from round 13. I thought I was going to get the perfect round of 6 out of 6, but the Pies sport the party with seriously one of the wins of the season. That is a season-defining win for the Magpies, and they are probably the best chance at the moment to make that 8th position, I reckon. I'd probably maybe book them in for finals. It's hard to say. There's a lot of teams around the mark that could really steal that 8th spot, but seriously, at the moment, the Pies do look really good. They look like a completely different side, and that's what happens when, their ball skills are on. They seriously, that pressure, the rush footy and the attacking kind of style can really pay off when the skills and fitness and pressure is up. So yeah, that's the flip side that can really happen when they are on. And look at that, they beat the reigning premiers and they have lost now 3 in a row, which is hard to believe. So Demons, could they slide? I mean, the Tigers had it in 2019. They lost 3 in a row but went on to win the premiership. So yeah, they head into the bye now, both teams. So it's interesting to see how both teams will go after the bye. But yeah, we'll just go over the rest of the round because I got every tip correct for the rest of the round. I mean, it was pretty straightforward. Some pretty straightforward tips. Obviously tipped Richmond. A few people went for the unorthodox tip of Port Adelaide, and I respect that, but I think Richmond just looked like a bit of a better side. Maybe could have won by more, and Port really could have won as well, but just forward of the ball, Port Adelaide were panicking in that 4th quarter. They just weren't executing well. Inside 50s, they were wasting it. Similar to the Tigers, it was a really scrappy game, I felt, but yeah, Tigers seemed they wanted it more, and they were a bit more efficient. Port Adelaide, they did well in the contest, but yeah, it was really, it really could have gone either way this game. But yeah, Tigers do prove too strong, and is that season over? Port Adelaide, I think they need to get a win. They need to win against Sydney this week, or if not, I think that could be season over for them. Essendon versus Carlton, their 150th anniversary, of course, the Dons, and it was yeah, great to see that. Pre-game huddle with Hurd and 𝐼𝐴𝐿𝐿𝐸 and just a lot of Essendon greats. Matty Lloyd in there was truly remarkable to see. One of the best moments so far this season, I do feel. But to yeah, put up it was a bit more of a competitive effort, I do have to say, but they were just simply, talent-wise, they were just talently beaten by a bigger bodied, a stronger Carlton side. Just dominating the midfield. I said last week their key position players are just going to get dominated with 𝐬𝐿𝐸 back in, and that's exactly what happened. So I feel like for Essendon, they just want to get this season over and done with, and really need to pick up some good moves in the off season. I feel maybe a Busslinger, a top key position play, because that's what's really killing them at the moment. Obviously they're wanting to hopefully succeed Zach Reid, which is an up-and-coming player they took last year. But yeah, they just look really struggling at the moment, Essendon. Of course, a lot of passengers and one-way runners in that midfield. But yeah, just another get-the-job-done win for Carlton. And yeah, they're a serious chance for a top 4, I'd say. Fremantle versus Hawthorn, an interesting game this one. Obviously tipped Fremantle and they got it done, but were down by 10 at half-time. And credit to the Hawks, they just seem to do it somehow. They play really good footy against the top sides. I think they're extremely competitive. Pressure was really good against that Fremantle side, and they were kicking accurate. I think by halftime they had plus 13 inside 50, so they were really controlling the game well. But I think just off the ball, what Fremantle do so well is they're just a tight-knit group, win it so well, and their transition is excellent too, and they were able to come home by 13 points. A few late surges in that 4th quarter. And yeah, another win for Fremantle. And I think their goal is now, seriously, they want to be aggressive. They want to make the top 2, I feel, and are a serious chance. Lions versus St Kilda did tip the Brisbane Lions. Few people went for St Kilda to get the upset, and it really could have happened. St Kilda, throughout most of the game, were winning the contest, winning the clearance, winning the contested possessions, were doing excellent. But Brisbane Lions class in that 4th quarter sawed it home for them. They kicked 10 goals, 18, really could have won by more, and it was also at the expense as well. St Kilda, they lost McKenzie, lost Mitch Owens, they lost Zach Jones, so they lost a few of those lower key players to St Kilda, which made them lose by 21 points. But I still think I've got to give credit to St Kilda. That was a really good performance. I feel a bit of a healthy loss, and I think they'll keep marching on this season. I think they're a good chance for the top 8. I feel like they're going to be a really solid chance. I can't really see them slipping out. But for the Brisbane Lions, again, it's just a professional win. That 4th quarter, they surged really well. Their class was showing with just so many of those good chemistry players. They just have a list at the moment with such great chemistry. And yeah, great win from them. Sunday game, North Melbourne and GWS. pretty much expected. Giants, massive win, and they're a team with a lot of upside at the moment. Obviously, brand new coach, a fresh start with some new staff, and a team with a very good list. Could they make a surge in the second half of the season? Who knows? They could maybe pick up a few unpredictable results, but yeah, they're on track at the moment so far. And of course, an expected win over just a lackluster North Melbourne side. And of course, we talked about it earlier, great win for the Pies, and wow, that just shows how good's footy. You know, when the Freo can do it, it gives chance for the Swans. When the Swans can do it, it gives chance for the Pies. When the Pies can do it, it gives chance probably now for the whole competition. This is a very beatable side now. I just feel like with Stephen May out, with Tom McDonald out, that's maybe the heart of their side just ripped apart from them. And at either end, they just look a bit more shaky at the moment. Max Gawn was out and he was a bit injured too. So it was just, yeah, a lot of key players were out for the Demons, and they just had to really rely on Brayshaw and Oliver and Petrarca to really lift them, but just failed to. And Pies, it was just such a good win. They seriously look like a finals quality team now, but again, it's hard to sneak him into that 8th spot. There's a lot of teams around the mark. It's going to be a hell of a second half of the season, I do feel. But Pies are on track. Great win. I think it's probably the win of the season out of any club. Before we get into my tips for round 14, of course, we go over the top 10 in my tipping competition at the moment. It is, yeah, really squeezing up at the moment. So who's going to get first place? It's pretty tight, and we'll just quickly go over it now. 10th, Hawke's Bay with 97 points. 9th, 𝐓𝐶 with 97. 8th, Buck for Life with 98. 7th, Jason Raiders with 98. 6th, 𝐼𝐶𝐞 with 99. 5th, 𝐼𝐴𝐷𝐷𝐷 0203 with 100. 4th, Richmond for Life with 100. 3rd, Demons Premiers with 100. 2nd, Batrooney with 100. And 1st, Banger Harvey continues to keep his first place position with 102 points. Okay, let's get into my tips for round 14. The very last bye week, so the last week of 6 games, and another Thursday night clash. We've got Richmond versus Carlton, the round 1 rematch where Carlton was able to execute in the 4th quarter and come home with the Chockies. But now, this game, I'm pretty sure the Tigers are favourites, which is a bit odd because I think Carlton just look like a bit more of the convincing side at the moment. But geez, the Tigers, if they pick up a result here, they're a really good chance to really solidify them into the top 8 picture a bit. Again, you know, I think it's Tigers, Suns, and Pies for that 8th spot. I do believe it's going to be tight. But anyway, this game, I think Carlton, look, they're without Wiedering, of course, but just their defence, I feel like somewhat holding up okay. Lewis Young and Marchbank had terrific games, I felt, last week against the Dons. Midfield, look, they maybe dropped off a little bit, but they still look absolutely terrific. Cripps is influencing, of course. Hewitt's been great. You know, Walsh has been, again, magnificent this year. Kennedy had a great return too. And up forward, they look deadly. They simply look unstoppable in my eyes. 𝐸𝐼 and 𝐸𝐿, they're seriously getting it done. Maybe, are they the better duo than Hawkins and Cameron at the moment? And because of this, I just feel like Carlton have a bit more of the convincing side at the moment. They seriously are playing great footy, and I think Carlton do get the edge here. And I am going to be tipping Carlton, and they'll win this Thursday night clash by 15 points. Friday night, we have St Kilda hosting Essendon. Yeah, look, you know, St Kilda should, in my eyes, maybe they can slip. They do have a few, you know, tricky games. Bit of a difficult run home, but against Essendon, they should be good here. Look, Essendon, it's just hard. Like, I want to try and tip Essendon in a game, but you just don't know if they're going to do it or when they're going to do it. St Kilda, for me, look, it was a really healthy loss, I felt, last week. They played terrific footy. They were in the hunt for 3/4 of the game against a solid Lions side, so they should return to Marvel and pick up a convincing result here. St Kilda get the Chockies, and they win by 31 points. Now for the Saturday games, we have 3. Port Adelaide hosting the Sydney Swans, 1:45 PM at Adelaide Oval. And I feel like this game for Port Adelaide is do or die. If they win this game, they keep their season alive. But if they lose this game against the Sydney Swans, the Swans are yet to beat Port Adelaide since 2015, I believe, as well. I think that's season over for Port. If they lose this game, they just don't look convincing. I mean, as I said earlier in the video, forward of the ball, they just don't look good. They look unconvincing, that forward line, ineffective, you know, struggling to find targets. But I feel like they can really get a result here against the Swans if they do what they're usually very good at in the contest. They win the contested possessions, they win the clearance as well. But I just feel the Swans those last 2 wins were really season defining, and they're starting to really ramp it up a bit. They do have plenty to prove, got some great upside in their list, and I feel like if they can do similar to against the Demons, you know, they might lose the contested battle, but if they do very well on the turnovers and just show that champagne and efficient footy that they're very good up the corridor and inside 50s are efficient, I think they can get a result here. And I'm going to be tipping the Swans, and I feel like it's going to be a close game. Obviously, as I said earlier, Swans are yet to beat Port Adelaide since 2015, and I feel like they're going to break this curse with this game, and they'll win by 13 points. West Coast Eagles now hosting Geelong at Optus Stadium. Not much to say here. West Coast, similar to North Melbourne, are just truly mud at the moment. I mean, both teams with under 53%. That's just shocking. I mean, usually a team that shows a bit of upside is, you know, a bottom 4 team with maybe 90%, but 50%, they just seriously look like schoolboys at the moment. And Geelong, they should be starting to really ramp it up this season now, and they'll pick up a massive win over in the West, and will win by 78 points. GWS now hosting the Western Bulldogs at Giants Stadium, and I'm pretty sure they are favourites in this game. So new coach, new system, players playing in their position now against an inconsistent Bulldogs side. I'm liking the Giants here, you know, in front of a crowd of probably 6,000 as they do average over there at Giants Stadium. Yeah, I think they are a team that's, you know, a lot of people sleeping on. I feel like maybe it's a bridge too far for them to make finals, but against the Bulldogs side, look, they're just really unknown at the moment. A team that could, you know, could you put a line through them for finals? The Bulldogs, perhaps. But I'm liking the Giants at the moment. I really am. They're in some good form, and they'll pick up a win here against the Bulldogs and win by 16 points. And for the final game of the round, we have Gold Coast taking on Adelaide at Metricon Stadium. A team that I truly expect to surge. I feel Gold Coast alongside the teams like Richmond and Collingwood. It's going to be such a tight race. I'm really keen for the second half of the season. But I'm loving what Gold Coast are doing at the moment. You know, they're always going to be that under the radar side. The team that people are going to sleep on, people are going to doubt, because they usually have by history poor second halves of the season. But I'm just loving what they're doing. You know, I feel like at Metricon Stadium, it's such a fortress. It's hard to win over there. And maybe what we've seen this season is at the hardest place to pick up a result. In my eyes, maybe alongside home at 𝐓𝐴 for the Cats, it's a really hard place to pick up a result. And against that Adelaide side, who are very competitive, I just feel like Gold Coast at the moment are in some fine form. And they'll pick up a win here, a convincing win, and win by 39 points. So everyone, there are my tips for round 14 of the 2022 AFL season. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to comment down below and tell me what you think of my tips, and also feel free to comment down yours below too. Love to hear your fellas' thoughts. So everyone, that's the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you later. See you later, fellas.